Initializing monetization. Monetization process successful.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another short episode of Live ZMu TV. And once again, I'm your host, Armand Nicholas, and today we're going to be discussing a topic that a lot of our older members or more tenured members are being very cautious about. It's the topic of monetization. So I've gotten a lot of requests asking what exactly is YouTube looking for when we're being reviewed for monetization. So we're going to kind of go ahead and address that quickly here and try to address some of the main concerns that members should be watching out for. So again, before we get started, as usual, please make sure that you take the time to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. If this is your first time visiting us, please definitely subscribe to the channel. Take a look at our channel, team channel, and of course, watch some of those educational videos in there that could potentially help you in your journey to monetization if you're a YouTuber. So let's get started. YouTube channel monetization policies. That's one of the things that you certainly need to be aware of or need to have some basic to moderate understanding as to what you're going to be going through when you're going through monetization. Okay, so if you're looking to monetize on YouTube, it's very, very important that you know, that you follow, and not just know, but you follow channel guidelines. Okay, these includes YouTube's community guidelines, terms and conditions, TOS, right, terms of services, right? And you have to understand the guidelines when it comes to fair use, copyright, and make sure that you stay away from any form of claims or strikes. Now, if you're using your original content, then the chances are you're not going to have any issues with copyright infringements or fair use issues or guidelines, right? But as many of you out there who are YouTubers that use other people's contents, whether you're gamers, whether you're tutorial videos, right, or whether you're commentary videos because you're commenting on TV shows and things like that, you have to be very, very careful. Okay, they apply to anyone. These rules apply to everyone. Okay, that's looking to apply for the YouTube Partner Program. Okay, so if you want, if you want to monetize your videos with ads, they have to meet certain requirements and guidelines set by the advertiser-friendly content guidelines. Okay, now advertiser-friendly, they have to follow a lot of very stringent or very strict rules. So again, let's do a real quick overview as to how to get from point A to point B, and point A means starting a YouTube channel to point B being monetized in YouTube. Okay, besides learning some of these policies and guidelines, you have to follow them. You have to actually practice them. So we always ask, what exactly does YouTube check, right? What exactly does YouTube check when you're going for a review? So many of you who's gotten monetized before, you've gone through these reviews, never had any problems, right? There are others that have gone through the review but ran into some issues. They ran into some issues for either reuse content, copyright claims, or even worse, copyright strikes. So you got to be careful with some of these topics, right? So what exactly does YouTube check when they're reviewing your channel for monetization? Well, they're reviewers. These are actual individuals. It's not done by a computer, not that I know of, at least. All right. A lot of the task is done by computer data, analytics, right? But a lot of them still go through a human being going through some of your channel. They check your content. They check your actual content, what's in your channel, right? They want to make sure that it's not explicit. They want to make sure that it doesn't break any rules and regulations. We have one member that basically is kind of shaky just because, their video could be deemed sexual because of some of the topics, some of the titles that they make, even if it's just pranks or jokes, but the way that they make the titles, it could cross that line. So if you're one of those channels like that, you might want to be very careful with your with the way that you put your titles and descriptions, and of course your thumbnails. Make sure that they're not explicit, right? So these reviewers, again, let's go back to the reviewers. They check your content the best, the content that best represent your channel, right? So let's say that you have a channel that is about cooking, some tutorials, and of course some gaming. They're gonna basically take a look at your channel and says, what is this channel really about? If it's multiple different topics, they're gonna wanna see what is the best representation of your channel. So what's the dominating topics, right? If it's gaming, it's gonna be gaming channel. If it's cooking, it's gonna be cooking channel. Even if you have them all mixed and mashed up together, there's gonna be a best representation of your channel that they're going to be able to review. The reviewers can't check every single video, right? I mean, we know this. They cannot check every single video. If you have 200 videos on your channel, they're not gonna just check every single one of them for accuracy, right? They're gonna do a real quick scan on your channel, make sure that they abide by those rules and regulations. What do they actually look for? Well, very simple. A few things. They look for 5 main things. What is number 1? What is the main theme of this channel? Is this a cooking channel or is this a gaming channel, right? Or a tutorial channel, right? They look at number 1, the main theme of that channel. So be very, I guess, explicit about your theme. Don't, we talked about this before. YouTube does not like a channel that's all over the place. They like a channel that's specific, right? So they want to know what your main theme is. Number 2, they will look at what's the most viewed videos that you have. Do you have 20 videos and only 1 actually has views because it went viral? And then, of course, the rest of your videos don't have anything on it? Well, YouTube is going to say something about that. You may not be ready to monetize. Do we know people that didn't get monetized because of that? Absolutely. I know of at least 4 or 5 people that have gone viral, right? And then they put out new videos and they never got any views on those videos, maybe like a couple of maybe 20, 30 views in each of the video, and then they have one video that went viral for, let's say, 100,000 views or 200,000 views, right? But they got declined. They got declined for monetization because it's luck. They just got lucky. They have one video that went viral and got them 4,000 hours, right? But their channel is really nothing. It really isn't ready for monetization. So YouTube, yes, they decline these channels for monetization, okay? Number 3, newest video. They want to know, how often are you actually posting your new videos? How often are you uploading new videos on your channel, right? They want to know that, okay, this person is uploading video once every month. Yes, they get declined. They don't get accepted into the YouTube partner program. They don't get accepted into the monetization group or team, right? They basically will decline those people because there's not enough content. There's not enough I guess existence, right? They're uploading 1 video every month, one video every 2 weeks. They're not consistent enough, all right? Or they are too consistent and they're consistently uploading too far apart. It's not enough, right? So that's number 3. They will check to see when is your newest video coming up. That's why when we say that you're, when you tell us or when we discover that you're almost monetized, you're going up for monetization, just before you go up for monetization, we tell you upload 1 video. Upload 1 or 2 videos just before you go through the monetization review to make sure that you don't run into this number 3, right? The newest video issue, right? Number 4, they will look at the biggest proportion of watch time. What do I mean by biggest proportion of watch time? Biggest proportion of watch time simply means, are your videos being watched, let's say on Facebook, right? Facebook links, right? Or are your videos being watched from a link that was distributed from a website that's cleaner, right? Or are your videos constantly just being watched by people on a playlist, right? Well, we understand that, people in the Watch for Watch group, they have a playlist, right? But that's where the SEO concept comes in. The SEO allows you to grow your channel outside of the team and allows you to get viewers from the outside of the team, so that YouTube, when they review you, sees that there is a proportion of your views coming from outside sources. Like maybe YouTube recommended videos, right? Your video comes up because it's being recommended by YouTube, that kind of stuff, right? So they will look at that as well. Number 5, video metadata, okay? What exactly is metadata? What does it involve? For the people that don't understand, they look at your metadata. They look at your titles, the way that you write your titles, the way that they are appropriate, right? They look at your thumbnails. Are your thumbnails actually somewhat advertisable, somewhat recommendable? Is it something that's presentable, right? Or is it just a random screenshot of nothing, right? A random screenshot of nothing. They look at that, they may complain about it, right? And of course, your description. Your description is going to be very, very important in order to monetize your channel. Okay, it's part of your process. So if you haven't noticed yet, what have you guys noticed in the 5 things that I mentioned? The main theme of your video, the most viewed videos, right? The newest video uploads, right? And then of course, the proportion of watch times that you get, right? And then last but not least, the video metadata, such as your titles, thumbnails, and description. What does that sound like to you guys? Doesn't that sound like the SEO targeted concepts? Oh my gosh, it is, right? It's the SEO targeted concept. Hello, that's how we came up with the SEO process. That's how we came up with the SEO process. That's how we continue to adjust the SEO process, is to target what? Target the YouTube channel monetization policies and guidelines. Wow. What a rocket scientist we are, right? Come on. See, why do you think we target the YouTube monetization process or YouTube channel monetization guidelines? To ensure that none of you get declined. But then again, we can only give you this information. We cannot actually do it for you. So do we have members that go through the SEO process, learns the SEO process, learns to grow their channel, learns everything about the SEO, right? And they're prepared. They go out for monetization, review, right? And then they get declined. Do we have members that? Absolutely, we have them. Why do you think that is? Why did they get declined? It's because we gave them this information. We told them exactly what they need to be doing. We told them exactly what they need to be avoiding, right? And being careful about. But did they listen? No, they did not. They continued to do their videos the way that they're doing it, taking these into account, but not paying attention to a lot of the other subcategory topics when it comes to the monetization guidelines. Okay, so please understand, yes, we can do all of these things. We can put all of these information together for you, but if you don't follow them, if you don't heed that advice, if you don't listen to that advice, we can't do anything for you. All right, we can only lead the horse to the water. We can't really force the horse to drink. I mean, yeah, you could break the horse's leg and maybe, you know, his head will fall into the water and force himself to drink, but he'll also drown. Okay, the horse will also drown because the leg is broken and can't get up and his head is underwater, right? So there is that saying, we can only lead the horse to the water. We can't really force him to drink. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, you guys. You need to stop wasting your time. You need to actually get this process down. You're learning all of these concepts in the SEO process. You have to apply them, okay? So again, what's our SEO process based on? It's based on the YouTube channel monetization policies and guidelines. It is designed to try to avoid any guideline errors, any terms of service violations, and of course, any form of copyright infringement or fair use infringement. Our SEO process was meant to try to protect you from any of these issues so that it does one thing and one thing mainly. You go through your monetization review and you pass. But along with all of those SEO that we do, yes, it will also show you and guide you on how to grow your channel even after monetization, that you're not going to be dependent on all of these sub for sub sites, all of these watch for watch team, that you can actually grow your channel appropriately, organically. Okay, so once again, I'm hoping that this short video was of some help to you, and if it was, I would truly appreciate if you just hit that like button, allow this video to rank and be suggested by YouTube to other individuals looking for some information or suggestions. But more importantly, people, I want to know what you've learned. I want to know what this video did for you. I want to, or did not do for you. I want to know in the comment section. Please take a second or two and just put a short comment in there as far as what you learned and what you didn't know now that you know from the video. But more importantly, personal experience. I want to know your personal experience in this topic. I want to know, have you run into an issue like this before and how did you solve it? Because I can learn from you. Others can learn from you. We are here to learn from one another. That is our main goal is to continue to learn and move forward, right? Also, if you have a specific topic, just like this was a comment on one of my videos that somebody asked and sent me a message on. If you have a topic that you would want us to go over, you would want us to do a video on, please write it down in the comment section. We write those down so that we can generate that video for your question. And of course, last but not least, make sure that you're already subscribed to this channel. Hit the bell button to be notified automatically for any upload videos coming up in the future. And once again, my name is Armand Nicholas, and I thank you for taking the time once again to watch a short episode of Live ZMU TV, raw and uncut, brought to you by Team ZMU. We'll see you next time.